Fear controls more lives than failure ever could. Not because people are weak, but because they never learn how powerful their thoughts can be. This is not a story about luck. This is a story about one man who stopped thinking small, and everything changed forever. There was a man named Daniel. Daniel was not poor, but he was not free either. He had a job, a small apartment, a routine that never changed. Every morning, he woke up at the same time. He wore the same kind of clothes. He followed the same path to work. From the outside, his life looked fine. But inside, Daniel felt stuck. He often looked at people who were doing better than him. People who traveled. People who spoke with confidence. People who seemed alive. And every time, he told himself the same thing. That is not for me. I am not made for big things. I should be happy with what I have. Fear spoke softly in his mind. So softly that it felt like logic. Daniel's inner world. Daniel had dreams once. When he was younger, he wanted to build something of his own. He wanted to create work that mattered. He wanted a life where he felt proud at night. But over time, fear grew stronger. Fear of failing. Fear of being judged. Fear of losing what little stability he had. So he learned how to think small. Small goals. Small hopes. Small expectations. Thinking small felt safe. And safety felt comforting. But deep inside, a quiet pain remained. Every night, before sleeping, Daniel asked himself a question. Is this all my life will ever be? He never answered it. Because the answer scared him. Daniel's job paid the bills. But it also drained him. His boss never shouted. But he never believed in Daniel either. Daniel's ideas were ignored. His effort was unnoticed. His growth was limited. Still, he stayed. Why? Because fear told him, at least you have a job. At least you are not failing. At least you are safe. Fear convinced him that survival was success. And Daniel believed it. Until one ordinary day changed everything. One evening, Daniel was returning home. He stopped at a small cafe near his apartment. He sat alone, scrolling on his phone. That is when he noticed an old man sitting nearby. The man was reading a book. Not rushing. Not stressed. Daniel could not explain why, but something felt different about him. After a while, the old man looked up and smiled. You look tired, he said. Daniel smiled back politely. Just work, he replied. The old man nodded. Then he asked something unexpected. Are you tired in your body, or in your life? That question hit Daniel hard. He laughed it off. But his silence gave him away. The old man closed his book. I used to look like you, he said calmly. Always busy. Always careful. Always afraid. Daniel listened. I thought thinking small would protect me. The man continued. But all it did was keep me small. Daniel felt uncomfortable. Big thinking is risky, Daniel said. Not everyone can afford it. The old man smiled. Fear always sounds reasonable, he said. But it is still fear. Then he said something Daniel would never forget. You are not afraid of failing. You are afraid of seeing how powerful you could be. That night, Daniel could not sleep. Those words echoed in his mind. What if fear is not protecting me? What if it is limiting me? For the first time, Daniel allowed himself to imagine a bigger life. Not success. Not money. Just freedom. Freedom to try. Freedom to grow. Freedom to fail and still move forward. The idea scared him. But something else happened too. It excited him. The next morning, Daniel woke up early. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to think. He wrote down one question on a paper. What would I do if fear was not in control? At first, his mind went blank. Then slowly, ideas came. Learning a new skill. Sharing his ideas openly. Applying for better opportunities. Starting something small on his own. None of these were dangerous. But fear had made them feel impossible. That day, Daniel made one decision. He would not destroy his life overnight. But he would stop letting fear decide for him. The moment Daniel started thinking bigger, fear fought back. You will fail. People will laugh. You are not good enough. This time, Daniel noticed something. Fear always spoke about the future, but never about growth. So he did something new. He acted despite fear. He signed up for a course he always wanted to take. He stayed late after work to learn. He spoke up in meetings. His hands shook sometimes. His voice cracked. But he did it anyway. The struggle phase. Progress was slow. Some days, Daniel felt strong. Other days, doubt returned. He compared himself with others. He questioned his decisions. One night, after a long day, he almost quit. He told himself, maybe this is not worth it. Then he remembered the old man's words. Thinking small never gave him peace. So why go back? Daniel realized something important. Thinking big does not remove fear. It gives fear less power. A turning point. Months passed. Daniel's confidence slowly grew. He started sharing his ideas online. At first, nobody noticed. Then one person commented. Then another. He received feedback. Some good. Some painful. But it was real. For the first time, Daniel felt alive. Then came a big moment. An opportunity he never thought possible appeared. A chance to work on a project that matched his passion. Old Daniel would have said no. He would have chosen safety. But this time, Daniel paused. Fear spoke loudly. But his bigger thinking spoke louder. He said yes. The project was hard. Daniel failed many times. He made mistakes. He felt exposed. There were nights he wanted to run away. One night, after a major mistake, he sat alone and stared at the wall. He felt ashamed. He felt tired. And then something clicked. This is what growth feels like. Not comfort. Not certainty. But courage. Daniel realized that fear never left. He simply stopped listening to it. Transformation. Slowly, things began to change. Not suddenly. Not magically. But clearly. Daniel was respected more. He trusted himself more. He spoke with confidence. His life did not become perfect. But it became meaningful. He no longer asked, "What if I fail?" He asked, "What if I grow?" Resolution. One evening, Daniel returned to the same cafe. The old man was not there. But Daniel smiled anyway. Because now he understood. Thinking big is not about becoming famous. It is about becoming free. Free from fear. Free from limits. Free from the voice that says, "You can't." Moral and message to the audience. If you are listening to this story, this message is for you. You may feel stuck. You may feel afraid. You may feel small. But hear this clearly. Fear is not your enemy. Small thinking is. You do not need to be fearless. You need to think bigger than fear. Big thoughts lead to brave actions. Brave actions lead to growth. Growth changes everything. So tonight, ask yourself one question. What would I try if I thought bigger than fear? Your life might never be the same again. And so, this story does not really end here. Because the next page belongs to you. Fear will still knock on your door. Doubt will still whisper in your ear. But now you know something most people never learn. Your thoughts shape your future. Long before actions ever do. Think small, and life stays small. Think bigger than fear. And life slowly opens its doors. You don't need to change everything today. Just change the way you see yourself. Because the moment you start thinking bigger, life has no choice but to follow. Close this video. But open your mind. If this story touched your heart, tap like and subscribe for more stories like this. Your support helps these lessons reach more lives.